Have you ever looked at a doll and felt like it was watching you? That quiet stare that follows you across the room. Glass eyes that somehow feel alive. For one nursing student in 1970, that feeling turned into something much darker. This is the real story of Annabelle. Unlike the porcelain-faced monster from the movies, the real Annabelle was an ordinary Raggedy Ann doll. Red yarn hair, stitched smile, soft cotton body. The kind of toy meant to bring comfort, not chaos. She was given as a gift. A student nurse named Donna received her from her mother. A sweet gesture, a symbol of home, of warmth. But soon, the doll started to change the atmosphere in that small apartment. Donna and her roommate Angie began noticing little things. The doll would seem to shift positions when no one was looking. One day she'd be on the couch, the next standing upright against the wall. It was subtle at first, almost easy to dismiss. But then came the parchment notes. Slips of parchment paper began appearing around the apartment, covered in handwriting neither women recognized. The notes said things like "help us" or "help Lou." What made it even stranger is neither of them owned parchment paper. They started hearing noises, cold drafts, rustling sounds, and each time the doll would be in a slightly different place. Donna, trying to make sense of it, reached out for help, not to the police, but to a psychic medium. During a seance, the medium told her that the spirit of a 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Higgins had attached itself to the doll. Annabelle, the medium said, had died on the very land their apartment was built on. The story was heartbreaking. A lonely little girl spirit simply looking for comfort. Donna and Angie, compassionate and kind-hearted, made a choice that would change everything. They gave the spirit the permission to stay. But what they didn't realize was this wasn't a little girl at all. After the seance, the activity grew violent. Furniture moved. Footsteps echoed through the apartment. One night, Donna's friend Lou, who had always been uneasy about the doll, woke up from a nightmare. In it, Annabelle was climbing up his body, strangling him. When he woke, he felt searing pain across his chest, deep scratches, fresh and bleeding. That was the final straw. The friends contacted a pair of well-known paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens arrived, and after examining the case, they concluded that this wasn't the spirit of a child at all. It was something pretending to be one, a demonic entity using innocence as a disguise. The goal, they said, wasn't to haunt the doll. It was to possess a human. The Warrens performed an exorcism and took the doll with them for safekeeping. But even after that, strange things continued to happen. They brought Annabelle to their occult museum in Connecticut, a room filled with haunted and cursed objects they collected over decades. The doll was placed inside a specially built locked glass case. A warning was attached. Positively, do not open. Visitors to the museum claimed they felt sudden chills standing near the case. One man reportedly mocked the doll after a tour, tapping on the glass, daring her to do something. On his motorcycle ride home, he crashed and died instantly. Lorraine Warren would later say, "Evil is nothing to joke about." If you like spooky stories and makeup, don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell icon so you never miss when I post new haunted tales like this one. Now, let's get back to Annabelle. Despite the skeptics, and there are many, the Warrens always stood by their story. They believed Annabelle was a conduit, a vessel through which evil could act. But others aren't so sure. Academics and science writers have long dismissed this case as folklore, a story born out of fear, belief, and suggestion. They argue the events could have been a mix of coincidence, imagination, or psychological influence. A doll blamed for what the human's mind couldn't explain. Still, the legend refuses to die. Annabelle's case inspired books, documentaries, and even the Conjuring Universe, where her story was twisted into something far more cinematic. But behind the Hollywood effects lies the question that made the real case so chilling. Can an object truly hold evil? The real Annabelle remains locked away to this day, inside her glass case, sealed with holy water and a prayer. Visitors aren't allowed to touch her, and museum staff report they can still see her shift ever so slightly when no one is near. Whether you believe it's a demon, a ghost, or just a story passed down for decades, one thing is certain: Annabelle changed the way we think about haunted objects forever. So next time you walk past an old toy in a thrift store, or find a doll sitting somewhere it shouldn't be, just remember, not every smile is friendly. I'll see you in the next story time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep your lights just a little bit on.